Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, now for the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories through the years. Today's episode is Tales from the Resistance, Back to the Second Dimension. So we go back to the second dimension and find out what they've been up to since Doof lost power. Dragon, your thoughts on Tales from the Resistance?
So yeah, this is it's interesting that we're kind of in a kind of the spin-off slash kind of pseudo sequel territory with a Phineas and Ferb movie. I didn't really see that coming.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting, to say the least.
Yep. I mean, it's fun. It definitely feels very much like, again, Dan Swampy trying some backdoor pilot, or at least kind of backdoor, kind of like, if not pilot, then you know what I mean, like kind of B story episodes they could try out.
Yep, even then, I think this is just meant to see, like, fans are, like, wondering what happened in the second dimension after the movie ended, and this is their answer to it.
Yeah, it's an epilogue, it's very much an epilogue.
Yep, and it even ends on a bit of a potential for future sequels.
Yeah.
even though no future episode was made yet.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, that's why I meant not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Whether or not they revisit it in season 5, we'll see. But we don't see it. This is the last we ever see of anything regarding the second dimension. So what do you make of that? Do you have anything to say regarding that?
What do you mean regarding that?
Regarding the fact that we don't see any more of the second dimension.
Well, I mean, there's only so many episodes left, Jacob. They're at the end of the run, and I mean, again, we might revisit it, we might not. So, nothing really charged in this one.
Yep. So we'll see. And the release date for the remake for the season 5 is encroaching ever closer.
Oh yeah.
And there's only including not including this one, 7 episodes left. So and a few of those are hour-long episodes. So we have our work cut out for us, don't we?
Yeah.
All right. And so so the episode starts off with, of all things, Lord of the Rings. A Lord of the Rings reference. What'd you make of all that?
Well, we certainly have a fun recap with Allison Janney.
Yep. Talking about what happened in Across the Second Dimension, because she wasn't actually in the movie. Which is kind of fun.
She's definitely getting in on the action.
Yep. And the narrators and the other 2 voices who have no idea what's going on. And funny, one of them saying Sepulveda, which is an exit in Los Angeles. So yeah.
That reminds me of all the little Easter eggs. We see an animation from time to time, like, for example, when Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
When Buzz and Deluded Buzz, or have to see an Alice Toy Barn where the Deluded Buzz tries arresting Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
The code that he lists, it's actually it's like the smoking ban in California from I guess circa 99.
You mean like code 4 or 4.5 or something like that?
Yeah, that one. It's like the no smoking law, or like a smoking ban law.
Another example I can name is in Zootopia, where they're talking about like Vine and Tahunga.
Mm-hmm.
Like apparently, like while Walt Disney Animation Studios was under renovations, that's where a lot of them animated the movie.
Bring it back to Freakazoid.
Yeah.
Barones.
Which was originally Moronies.
Yes. Wait, well, no.
Yeah, it was originally Moronies, right?
No.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
Moron. Moron.
the character's name. So again, you're right. So originally he was I am Moron, and then they changed the name to Boron when they did the ET parody. Anyway, so his home planet was Baroni's.
Which is the pizza place that was near the
Yes,
studio.
which is not just it was near the studio and it was like their favorite pizza place. So yeah,
I remember that. I do know that one.
famously, last episode of Freakazoid, when they recorded with everyone, and they knew it was their last one. They all went out and got pizza together. So you had like all the star-studded cast just at the at Baroni. So you had like Ed Asner and Ricardo Montalban having pizza together.
That would have been a sight to see.
Yes.
And they all got in a booth and sang the song.
Yeah. David Warner and the whole bunch.
Yep, I do remember that. I do remember reading that. Like, but why did they change the name from Moron to Boron?
Well, I think it was like season. Well, I want to say it was initially it was conceived as like kind of a one-off episode, and then they just kind of have like an inkling for like let's do it again, but to maybe ground a little bit, we can't just call him Moron. We got to give him like an actual we can't just call him Moron and have it in an episode that we're at least somewhat trying to take seriously.
They're trying to make an episode be taken seriously in Freakazoid.
Well, to be fair, there was an episode that featured Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
No, I'm saying literally, Steven Spielberg, like they were pitching him the episode. Steven Spielberg, as the ET parody, they were pitching it to Steven Spielberg.
It's like so. Even then, it's still supposed to be ridiculous and stupid.
Yes, that's the idea. So I think it was just like for a long form gag of like, okay, we probably want to change it to Boron. We even call this out later on with Lord Bravery, where he says like with Moron or Boron or whatever his name is.
Funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of funny. All right, well, we got our Freakazoid reference out early.
Yep.
So yeah, so Charlene recaps what happens. And basically, all of them have moved on, except Candace.
Well, it could have just been Allison Janney in a different role, Jake. It doesn't mean that was Charlene.
I think it was meant to be Charlene.
I don't think it was. I'm just saying, given the way I think it was being the Lord of the Rings parody, I don't think it was supposed to be Charlene.
Well, I'm reading the wiki transcript, and it listed as Charlene.
All right, fine.
All right.
So Candace is stuck in resistance mode.
Yep, she hasn't learned to stop resisting.
Yeah. By the way, it's very topical. We're talking about this now that Andor's wrapped up.
Yep. I mean, funny enough, we already covered the Star Wars episode too.
Yep.
Which offered an alternative way that the Death Star plans got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, so yeah, kid. So she hasn't even changed into her new clothes yet. Still wearing the outfit from the Resistance. Doing the pull-ups before she getting a call from Monogram. So, but before all that, the kids discover sports.
Sports.
Yes. So yeah, apparently they never noticed the random chain hanging out in their backyards. In 2 months, apparently.
Well, I think it's a callback to Perry's old, kind of low-tech entrance to the lair.
It's probably kind of. But apparently Lawrence was using it to stash sporting goods. I mean, he tells them to have fun with it, but he never explains how to use them.
You gotta be honest, I keep flashing back, and this is not helped by me finishing Duck Dodgers recently, but it takes me back to a gag from Space Jam.
Okay.
Sylvester the Cat, and basically we're trying to sell Michael Jordan on the idea of Looney Tunes having a snowball's chance going up against the Monstars.
You're the dream team, but we're the mean team.
Yeah, that whole thing. Right after that, where you have like the gym and like the kind of the community center, like basketball court. Anyway, we have Sylvester. It's like, we got balls, and we show all all the different sporting types of balls. It's just it's a
Yep.
cheap joke, but
Yep, it is.
that's the charm of Space Jam. Though it was like maybe not peak Looney Tunes, but it was still good to see them, and they're throwing some gags at the wall.
Yeah, they're seeing what sticks. Yeah,
Yeah, but again, far better than New Legacy. New Legacy, nothing stuck with that movie. Maybe one gag.
I don't even remember the one gag you're talking about.
As I've said, it's like there's. I want to say I'm sure there may have been like a few sprinkled here and there, but honestly, I think like the one joke might have gone cheap.
The Michael Jordan gag.
Yeah, so there are two jokes. Okay, the main one is the one you're mentioning, the one where we got Michael Jordan. It's Michael B. Jordan.
Yep.
That's the joke of the movie, and then beyond that, like some people don't like this, and I kind of like Don Cheadle, making the King Kong reference, and we actually have King Kong there. I still like that one. I don't know, but anyway.
Yep. Interesting movie to say the least.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yes, Candace is having trouble adjusting, and she's waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And Buford stepped in a slug.
Yep, which might have been a squirrel.
Well, he's like, what are those furry things that climb in trees? Squirrels? Yeah, it was a slug. Candace gets a call from Monogram thinking that it's going to be something important, but he just can't find the keys to the old lair. So, you gotta admit
the ceramic frog.
Which Carl doesn't understand what ceramic means and goes for a real frog.
I love I love Carl messing around with like the 3-panel monitor with the vanity mirror.
That was fun, yeah. He's like, woo!
So anyway, those beg the question. Those make a Monogram go.
Dang it, Carl.
So
yes.
So let's see which Carl would have a blast, playing around with the vanity mirror.
It's like, well, we know Weezer would.
God, yes, and not only would Weezer would, it feels like prime, like Carl Weezer featured in Jimmy Neutron Nicktoon Blast, like the ride cue, which is like, oh, it's a sweet spot of Carl right there. Yeah, seriously, I cannot tell you how much love and nostalgia I have for Jimmy Neutron Nicktoon Blast. I went on that thing like 20 times the first time I went to Universal and they had it. Like it might as well. It was near 20 times, like almost legitimately near 20. Like it was barely, it was back in the day when you could actually you could ride it, you could run out through the gift shop and then line up again.
And you're just like, whoop! I'm going to go again.
Yes. Oh my god, it was so good. I had that cue memorized. I love it.
What park was that at?
It was a straight Universal.
Oh, nice.
Now it's the Despicable Me ride.
All right.
Yep.
I don't think I went on that when I went to Universal last.
Nicktoon Blast?
I don't think I went to either one of them.
I'm saying there's 3 rides. So originally you had the Hanna-Barbera ride, which was fantastic, and I love that. I love that as well. But then they made even better with Nicktoon Blast.
Like I said, I didn't go on any of those 3.
All right. I wanted to go on the Despicable Me ride, but the last time I ever went to Florida, basically they had the facade built, and like I went into the gift shops at the gift shop and they had the facade, but the ride was not ready yet, which was like seems so cruel in hindsight when you think about it.
Yeah, but when I last went, the facade was ready, and I just decided not to go.
Anyway, which Carl would not mess around?
Well, probably Fredrickson for one.
All right. Okay.
Or probably Moss.
Okay.
I mean, do you have any alternatives?
No. Anyway, moving on. So,
all right.
Let's see. So, point being, we have Cyborg Perry. He's everyone's looped into him, and they got their pet back, and they find the secret stash of sporting goods.
And then they go to the park to play a game of sports.
Yes, the boys are doing sports. They got to start somewhere before we get back to the status quo.
And they have no idea what they're doing.
Not remotely.
You see the firestorm girls like putting like the thing in billiards where you put the triangle
Yeah,
over her head. I don't know what it's called.
wearing it as a necklace like the rack.
Yeah, the rack on her head.
Yep.
People like using croquet, using like the mallets and things as the balls.
What's your animated counterpart up to?
It's like no, not even the singer knows. Like not even not even really the singer knows why he has a canoe paddle.
Yep.
Like there I am.
Jacob, why did you use the canoe paddle?
Like I thought it'd be fun.
How would that be fun, Jacob?
I don't know. I've never played sports before.
I believe it. Okay, moving on.
Well, at least second dimension me's never played sports before,
Well,
and I'm sure probably the first dimension me's never played sports before either.
oh, I believe that.
unless Phineas and Ferb were involved.
Well, yeah, but then you're just taking pictures of Phineas and Ferb and breathing heavy.
All right. I'm not gonna
Like Darth Vader with an autograph book.
That's actually terrifying.
Just imagine you go to the Disney parks and you have Vader with like one of those, those autograph books that have like, you go up to the meet and greet characters, you give them a sign it and everything. It's like just him like you following the guest or you're going to like the Phineas and Ferb walk around characters just following the whole time.
That'd be fun.
And they have like the scared thing, like the scared, performers on Phineas and Ferb. Just eventually they kind of take it from the sign that they motion for him to go away, and he does. Yeah, Darth Vader is skipping away all merrily.
Woohoo! Oh my god!
And then we reveal like actual Dan and Swampy, and Dan just Swampy looks to him and just like silently, just like, looking for an explanation, and Pavmeyer just like shrugs, like, "Ah."
Well, Dan does go to Disneyland a lot.
Yep.
So he probably could see something like that happen.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, he goes to Disneyland a lot.
Well, yeah, that's because they are the walking around characters. Dan and Swampy are actually the guys in the suits, Phineas and Ferb, when you go there.
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Dan's frying where Swampy has like an air-conditioned unit in the giant cylindrical Ferb head.
I mean, who's to say that the Phineas head doesn't have air conditioning in it?
Nah. It's gonna be like the rhino scene from Ace Ventura 2.
Oh God, no! Why'd you have to bring that up?
You've seen how big Phineas's head is. Even it is basically, just I'm imagining more so. Here's what I was thinking would be hilarious. Okay, just imagine Papa Myers like curled up in the giant cone head.
Oh no!
So, he's like, "Don't mind me. I'm just a curious little Phineas."
Oh God! Why? Why'd you have to bring that image up?
And he's just like motioning, like like these two levers. They're basically working like the left foot and the right foot.
Of all things to be mentioned in this episode, I wasn't expecting the rhino scene.
So it was really funny. Just like, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a curious little rhino."
I mean, that scene is something, right?
Oh yeah, it's a miracle, that scene.
Yeah, a miracle. What kind of miracle? Who knows?
A miracle of birth, Jacob.
Yeah, but
that's a scene they should show in health class.
Yeah, like a human man being born out of a rhino.
Yes.
Oh God. Anyway, should we get back
What's
to the
good news? It's a Jim Carrey movie. It features a rhino. What's the bad news? It's a girl rhino.
Oh God. It's still named Philip though, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
All right. At least the girl rhino will be easier to tell than a nickel.
Well, yeah,
Right?
especially if it's giving birth to Jim Carrey.
Yes. I don't
That's
think.
how, that's how you can tell.
I didn't know. I didn't know the nickel didn't give birth to Jim Carrey
It's, it's a good point.
in real life. Were you there?
Well, no, I think you need two nickels to rub together for that one.
Well, it still could have been a girl nickel.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it would have to be a girl nickel in this
Now,
case.
here's the thing: how would the male nickel have a female name
I don't know.
like Lillian?
I don't know, Dragon. I think we're getting lost in logistics here.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
let's see.
I think we lost our like after the sports that Candace was watching surveilling with the staff and got an ice cream headache because she doesn't know how to eat ice cream slowly.
Well, Isabella tries to teach her about ice cream. Is ice cream? You know where this?
It's like a yelling game.
Yep.
Again, life under Doofenshmirtz was apparently not fun in any way. Didn't even have ice cream.
No.
Now, Dragon, do you think Doofenshmirtz had ice cream for himself, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, what kind of flavor do you think he would and Doofenshmirtz 2 would enjoy?
Well, let's see. Well, it would be what's an ice cream that has almonds in it?
I don't. There are
I'm thinking like an almond brittle, like a peanut butter ice cream, but it's almond brittle.
I mean, there are ice creams I believe that do have almonds in. None that's like I don't know, like Rocky Road. I don't think has almonds in it. It has nuts.
No. Well, Rocky Road has has like chocolate chips in it.
I mean, Rocky. I thought it had some kind of nuts.
I mean, maybe it can. I don't know if that's a regional thing or not. I don't know. Because you have to warn people about the nuts all the time, and they can't. I don't think they can house it in the same thing.
I mean, apparently you can put walnut, like peanuts or pecans in there.
Well, yeah, you can.
And apparently it does have almond. There can be almonds in there.
All right, fine. Let's say Rocky Road, but with an almond, topped with almond brittle.
All right, I was gonna say maybe Dunkelberry flavor. Or
something. Oh, there you go. That's even better. Yeah, Dunkelberry, kind of like strawberry.
Good.
Dunkelberry with some almond brittle, kind of crushed up and kind of put on there.
Yes. so that's the Dunkelberry brittle.
Yeah.
All right. Has a minor alliteration there. All right. So then let's get to the exciting part where they're attacked by the ants and the animal agents. Some surprisingly well animated action in this episode.
Well, yeah.
Kind of surprising. I mean, the show doesn't really have many action sequences outside, the occasional Doofenshmirtz and Perry fight, but those are more gags than anything else.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah?
Do you have the time?
I do, Dragon.
It's Gritty Reboot time!
Yay.
GRITTY.
Gritty Reboot time. I think we're out of sync there a little bit.
Oh, no, I tried something new.
And you kind of cut out on my end, so I didn't even hear all of it.
Anyways, there's a GRITTY time for you and I.
Yeah. All right, so Dragon, what's the Gritty Reboot?
Well, I think it's pretty much as plain as the nose on your animated face, Jacob. It's Cyborg Perry versus Pinky the Chihuahua and Peter the Panda and 26 transformed animal agents, as in Doofenshmirtz. He basically $6 million man, a bunch of animals. He tore them. He basically Alex Murphy'd them. He tore them apart and then put them back together with robotics. So he tortured these animals. And we know for a fact, this is actual damage that's been done because Perry can't. He's stuck like that. Can't remove it. Well, then again, later on, Pinky, we see that maybe it's more minor than we anticipate. Where it's like one limb is removed.
Well, I mean, at least for them, but for Perry, I think if they could have, I'm guessing if Phineas and Ferb could have found a way to remove all that armor from Perry the Platyborg, they would have.
Yeah, so maybe Perry was the prototype, and everything else was a lot. Everyone else got off more
Or
scot free.
yep.
Yeah.
Either that or Perry, either that or they were the prototypes and he was the finished product. Because he's the one that has all the fancy gizmos and stuff.
True.
Maybe he was the one Doofenshmirtz was building up to.
Anyway, so again, experimentation and torture of animals, the modification of animals.
Pretty dark.
Yeah. Also, Dexter's Lab episode, we kind of had a $6 million man parody.
Oh God.
With the turtle.
And then there's a turtle in this episode too.
Yes. I believe, yeah, so Birdie the turtle.
Yep.
Yep, as in the end. You're right, folks. It is a turtle that is named Birdie.
And what happens in that episode?
Do you ever see that one?
No.
Okay, so we have some Tarkovsky editing, which is very artfully done, very silent at first. So it's very cool, very Samurai Jack-esque. You have basically this turtle that is basically like preyed upon by a hawk. And essentially, like the turtle is, I want to say the turtle's like grabbed by the hawk and it kind of like escapes the clutches, or like the hawk like kind of drops it. Anyway, so it lands in Dexter and Dee Dee's backyard, and Dee Dee finds it, but she basically, well, the point being, she finds it, and I forget what precisely happens that makes her. It's something that I guess she heard the call of the bird or saw it fly down in a falling motion. She basically thought it was like oh no, I remember. Sorry, I just remember what it was. She sees the turtle. The turtle gets scared, goes into its shell, so she thinks it's an egg. So then, of course, when the turtle comes out, she thinks like it's like only partially, like hatched. So again, Dee, being just completely stupid, just thinks that it's a baby bird.
That's why she names it Birdie.
That's why she names it Birdie. And essentially what happens is they're running in the house, and she I forget. I think Dee just trips over Dexter. I don't think he does anything. She basically trips over Dexter. Like this, they collide into each other, and the turtle like flies out of her hands, and again really shockingly crashes into the grandfather clock, and then basically very artfully, without showing any horribleness.
Oh no.
We have like Dee Dee saying like, "Oh no, Dexter, what have you done?" Dexter feels really guilty. She's like, "You broke the clock, Dee Dee. The turtle," says Birdie. He's like, "Well, the bird needs help." So basically, he then $6 million man, and he basically makes the turtle bionic and awesome, and it's this insanely cool turtle. It's a parody of $6 million man.
Does it include a parody of Gamera in there?
Maybe not Gamera in this case.
Because that would have been right up the wheelhouse there to include a parody of Gamera.
Oh yeah, we kind of did Gamera in the last episode of Dexter anyway, so.
I mean, kind of, but that was more like just kaiju in general then. Anyway, but back to the episode at hand, I guess.
Point being, it was just really cool to see, this turtle. And I think one of the smartest jokes of that turtle was that you saw the turtle on the treadmill initially, just going very normal speed, and Dexter's explaining to Dee, that's actually very fast for a turtle. And the turtle pushes its limits and it goes really fast.
Oh gee.
It does all the $6 million. You since Tarkovsky loved the $6 million man like everybody else, so he put that in there.
We can rebuild him.
Yep, we have the technology.
and that's what they did.
By the way, going through Duck Dodgers, I was talking about $6 million man for the whole podcast. Duck Dodgers. There was a $6 million man parody episode that I don't think they brought back the actual lead majors, but it's very much he's a direct parody of the $6 million man.
That is funny.
Anyway,
yep.
So point being, mangled and reassembled bionic animal agents.
Yep. So Candace wanted to get to the bottom of it. Then she thinks Doofenshmirtz is involved. And she's not wrong, but she has the wrong Doofenshmirtz. In a scene that's literally kind of ripped out of Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah.
It's
also a little bit of James Bond, but yeah. Like,
yeah.
He's holding the train, he's petting it like,
Like Blofeld.
Yep, like Blofeld, yep.
Yep, but except it's a train, not a cat. Obviously. So he explains that there is another Doofenshmirtz.
Vanessa.
No, not Vanessa. Like she's only in high school. There's no and she has no aptitude for evil. Quite frankly, I'm disappointed.
See, this Doofenshmirtz is disappointing his daughter.
I think he still loves her though, but
well, you can still love and be disappointed at the same time.
Yep.
I mean, you know what that's like.
Okay. You didn't have to get personal, Dragon. You didn't have to get personal. Do that.
Anyway.
You didn't have to get all personal there, Dragon.
I didn't say you're, there's your brother you don't like.
Yeah, you weren't very specific there on the wording there. You know what that's like.
Well, exactly, you know what that's like. I'm not saying why would you be disappointed in yourself?
I'm just saying I know what it's like for someone to love me but disappointed in me.
Yeah.
But
again, applied to your brother.
All right, then.
You're disappointed that he is not he's not Dietrich Bader.
I mean, I think if you had a brother, I'm sure you'd be disappointed if he wasn't Dietrich Bader too.
Well, yeah, I would love a brother who's a Batman.
Me too. I think everybody would, unless he's in Harley Quinn, of course.
True.
Recently, anyway.
Well, recent. Yeah, I mean, originally okay, but recently, train wreck.
From what I understand.
Yes.
So yeah. So it turns out it's Charlene that's pulling the cord here, pulling the strings. Anyway.
Yes, Earl Sinclair's daughter. No, sorry, wrong Charlene. Yes, Charlene Doofenshmirtz. It's Allison Janney herself. Yes.
Yep. Turns out she's pulling the strings.
I love that as a reveal. Like Candace has never met Charlene, so this is
It's like who's Charlene? My ex-wife.
It's a fun deflatement when you realize it.
It's like Yep. That's like kind of even Doof's like it kind of takes away from the reveal.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Dragon, what happens next?
Okay, so the boys and the Firestorm girls, they end up taking down the cyborg animals, including Isabel's beloved pet.
It's like they get close anyway. Like they like distract them, take them in, but Ferb gets followed.
Yeah. All right, so real quick, I love the jump to a different when we use Doofenshmirtz. I love the two-way mirror joke.
That was cool. He's like, how does this? He's like, I can see you, Like, all right, but at least you can't hear us. I can hear you too.
And we reveal they haven't put it in the glass. So
it's
funny.
It's like, now I'm embarrassed. It's like, you think you would have checked to see if the mirror was there first.
Yep.
But nope, Monogram just made a complete fool of himself. Or
he just thought it was very clean glass.
Yep. And so, Candace interrogates Doofenshmirtz too about Charlene and where to find her. That's a Dragon. Where exactly can you find Charlene?
Well, Jacob, I'll tell you. You can find her at Charlene's no longer the Doofenshmirtz penthouse.
Yes, Charlene's no longer married to Doofenshmirtz's penthouse. Yes. You wonder how nobody could notice that it was there in the first place.
It was so subtle.
Yes, like the big neon sign that says Charlene.
Say what you will about Doofenshmirtz in the main universe. He doesn't write the jingle on his building.
Yeah, but technically he does just Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. Technically the name of the building is the jingle.
Yep.
But at least it's a sentence. At least it's just a name and not a whole sentence. I think that's what you're getting at, right?
Yes.
That's what I was kind of. But yes, she has to have her, and it does kind of add to like the other reveal later on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like anti-fortune. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So go on.
So Doofenshmirtz, in being released, he's done up exactly like Hannibal Lecter by his own accord.
It makes his voice sound creepy.
Fava beans.
At least he didn't mention the other person's liver and a nice Chianti.
Yeah.
He just has a thing for fava beans.
Yep.
Really going in on the Silence of the Lambs references here, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, they need to stress that he's evil.
Yes.
More evil than the other Doofenshmirtz.
But by intentionally dressing as Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
At least this dude doesn't have friends over for dinner. He just banishes people who ask his daughter out to the movies.
Yeah.
All right. Dragon, what do you want to say about what happens? So, what do you want to talk about next? Then we're kind of jumping all over the place here.
Okay, so we have a very thorough
Scrutinizer.
Yeah. The scrutinizer.
That's like where it's like gets like an eye sample, takes a DNA on his tongue, ears. It even scans his butt.
Reminds me of Monsters vs. Aliens.
Kind of. Yeah. Except at least in this case, he kept his pants on.
It also reminds me of an episode of Rocko's Modern Life. Not the Magic Meatball, different episode. Did you look into that, by the way?
I looked it up, but my browser, I don't have it pulled up on my browser anymore. I'll pull it up now.
No, you don't have to pull it up now. I'm just saying, watch the episode, man.
I said I have to pull it up so I can watch it.
Anyway,
what I'm saying is I have to Google search it so I can watch it.
An episode where they do kind of a Cinderella thing, where it's like the glass slipper.
Yeah.
Well, instead of the glass slipper, essentially, Rocco went to a premiere, like a Grauman's Chinese theater-esque premiere.
Yeah.
To be really, really big man. And I forget if it was Heifer or somebody like it was like throwing him so he can get a good seat, or so he could or trying to throw him out, and then whatever happened, he ended up getting flung, and he flung into the wet cement, so he left a butt imprint.
You mean Rocco?
Yes, Rocco. Rocco left a butt imprint. Anyway, so then some fashion designer basically was like, "Oh my god, this is the most perfect bottom I've ever seen," and basically did like a Cinderella. So he went to a mall or something with like the concrete like chiseled out or something, and basically invited everyone to to see if they could match the buttocks, which would bring fame and fortune and glory and modeling and all that kind of stuff.
And how does it backfire for Rocco?
Well, no, the backfire is literally like Cinderella, only we kind of see it's like fame's not what it's always cracked up to be.
You said at least a fame and fortune, but that means it has to backfire for Rocco somehow.
Well, yeah, in the back end too.
that kind of tracks for Rocco.
Oh yeah.
And is that how many times do we see really, really big man?
Do you in the episode?
I mean, in the series, or is that the only episode with him in there?
No, he pops up a few times.
It's like we're all inspired by your bigness.
Yeah, like he's a background extra, so he's around.
It's like because they're inspired by his bigness.
Yes.
Oh God. So yeah, I can tell. That's one way to get discovered, isn't it? With your butt.
Well, if you're lucky enough.
Alrighty then, moving on. Oh God. What are we even talking about, Dragon?
Well, we're talking about butts, Jacob. So they come in many shapes and sizes.
I meant outside of the butts.
You're right. So BDSM, kids. So B stands for.
No. All right, the butt scan. After the butt scan.
Yes, after the butt scan.
Yep. We actually before that we actually do give an. Before they break in, we do get Tony Marzullo, who asked Vanessa to the movies, but he was banished before.
Yes.
So apparently he's fine now.
Yeah, and Vanessa's trying to plead her case to her mother.
And it's like I don't know. What do you think? She talks to the rat.
The animal, like a rat agent, who's been like a bionic rat, and the rat just kind of shrugs and or says something, and Vanessa just takes this okay, thanks, as in well, it's not a no.
Yep. So they get her attention, and then they explain. The real reveal of this episode is that Doofenshmirtz and Charlene in this universe are still actually married.
Yeah, so this was a wonderful surprise.
Yep. It's like they're only pretending to be divorced.
Yep. Now this, I love the they pretend to be divorced song.
Yep. All the convoluted reasons we pretend to be divorced.
Yep, and I just love like the whole advantages of faking divorce. Like we do it through the split screens and everything. Is this like the tax advantages?
They get tax advantages, double coupons.
Yep, separate bedrooms,
separate vacations.
Yep.
All the reasons they pretend to be divorced.
Yep.
And the minute started from like if it's kind of Doofenshmirtz and Charlene looking out for each other in a way. Like if he ever gets like deposed, she wouldn't be, brought in along with him.
Yeah, which is really thoughtful. And again, it's interesting that the love of the Doofenshmirtz family does seem to carry over between universes.
Yep. Even in this universe, like I said, in this universe, they never got technically divorced. Apparently he did have the choo. He didn't have the choo-choo, but he also didn't have the tomato puppet.
Yeah.
Because remember, that is one of the reasons they got divorced.
I think the real question, Jacob, is going to sound horrible.
Yeah.
The real question is, when did he bring out the puppet?
Who knows?
I'm saying like that might have been the real problem. It's date night, and like there's the puppet, and it's like I might need to reevaluate our marriage. Like if this is what it takes, I don't.
Remember, that's one of the times he probably got doomed by a puppet.
Yep, his marriage.
He doomed his marriage because of a tomato puppet.
Doom.
If I had a nickel, every time that happened, I was doomed by a puppet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice, right?
Yep.
The funny thing is, we covered the movie twice on this channel. Remember?
Yeah.
All right. So after all the reasons they pretend to be divorced, apparently the entire plan was to get all the resistance members to bring Doof to the building was also a convoluted plan, which they also had a song for, but we don't get to hear. Good. And the other reveal, they have roboticized Ferb.
Seemingly.
Yes, seemingly.
Furborg.
It's nice to have a cyborg that can actually speak. Well, usually I only say 1 line per day. 1 line? Really? Why? Seriously, that was it? Ferb just commits to it, even though he's already spoken before in this episode.
Don't ruin the illusion, Jacob.
It's him that's building the illusion in the first place, Dragon.
How dare you blame the cartoon characters?
Oh, sure, I'm the one blaming the cartoon characters.
Monster.
Think of all the times, Dragon, that you bring up these. You made this whole thing about Phineas being a psychopath.
Does anyone disagree with that?
Yes, they do.
Do you?
Yes,
You've agreed with me before.
kind of as a joke.
So you lied to me?
You liar! You lied to me, you liar! Oh God. Anyway, but yes, I did, and I'm done lying, Dragon. And I'm tired of pretending I'm not.
I feel so betrayed right now.
That's like, and I'm tired of pretending I'm not, Dragon. Another references upon references, Dragon.
Yep.
You get what you deserve. All right. That one was forced, I'll admit.
Yeah.
So apparently the whole Ferb being roboticized was obviously a ruse
Mm-hmm.
to get them out. Buford has no idea how to drive an ant tank, apparently. Well, he does, but he didn't know that they wanted to climb the building instead of ram it. And Dragon, what happens next?
Well, they climb up.
I mean, what happens after they climb?
Well, let's see. We have a big old action sequence in which we're putting hats on pets.
Yep, they built it. Sorry, I'm about to sneeze. I was about to sneeze. Okay, I'm good. Sorry.
Anyway.
So they built in basically a way to undo the robotification into the hats. Pinky even attacking Isabella, trying to rationalize with her with Pinky, but not getting through. But it is heartwarming reunion when she finally gets the hat on him.
It was an interesting design detail that they have the ability to remove the armor with, except for like one bionic implant.
Yeah, I love the gag of the turtle running in.
Yeah,
and it's just like running extremely slowly. I love it, Dragon. I have pet turtles, and that's why I really have an affinity for that kind of thing.
Are their names Cuff and Link?
No.
This is Cuff. This is Link.
Is that a reference to something?
Yes.
What is it a reference to?
Rocky.
Yep, I don't have. I've seen Rocky. I didn't remember that.
He might still have those turtles. I heard they lived a really long life.
I mean, turtles do live a long time. I've had mine.
So I think there's a chance they might still be alive. I think.
I've had mine for over 10 years. Mine are aquatic map turtles, but
well, assuming these turtles are still alive, they have you beat, Jacob, because these were turtles that were alive in like '74.
Well, yeah, I know when Rocky came out, Dragon. But I'm just saying, mine. I got mine when they were very young, and I've had them for over 10 years now. His were like box turtles, right?
I mean, they were in like a little terrarium, but I guess.
Like mine are aquatic. So I don't know if there's probably a difference in how long they would live. Like I have at least another 10 years with mine.
All right.
So yeah.
Okay, point being, Doofenshmirtz is made evil again after this jaunty musical number. Charlene wants her evil husband back, so she restores his tragic backstory
by tossing the choo-choo out of off the building.
Yeah.
Yep.
So evil, so cruel.
It's like backstory reforming.
We undo the whole movie.
Pretty much, yeah. Doofenshmirtz from the first dimension gave him the choo-choo, and Charlene just threw it away.
Yep.
It's she wants her evil husband back. She likes being the wife of a dictator.
Yeah.
Who knows if the real world not the real world, but the first dimension Charlene would have the same reaction if she found out that Doof was evil.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Do you think first dimension Charlene would be with Doof if he took over the tri-state area?
I think that's a question for the revival.
Yeah, we'll see.
If she finds out, and then they reconcile, they get back together.
Yeah, we'll see how that. We'll see how
Which
that
then
all.
presents a problem because no more alimony.
Well, who knows? Maybe she makes good money outside of that.
Yeah.
And they'll be able to live on the double income. Or who knows? Maybe something else will happen.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the trailers did show Doofenshmirtz in therapy.
Oh boy.
Yep.
If
So
only Kelsey Grammer could be the therapist.
well, we'll see. We don't know. Who knows? Maybe they did get Kelsey Grammer for that episode.
Nah, he's not in the budget.
I mean, Dragon, he's been with The Simpsons he's been voicing the character in The Simpsons for 30 years. I think they'd be able to get him for this.
Well, still, I don't think they want to get him for this.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an idea.
See, what they should do is again, can you imagine this? Imagine when we do a Meepless in Seattle again.
There actually be Meet Me in St. Louis, and they actually are doing that episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Still though, doesn't it feel like if we ever did go back to Seattle, just briefly, if we had like his whole like a Frasier aside, or we just kind of mimicked Frasier with Doofenshmirtz and Peter the Panda, as as like Frasier and Niles having coffee.
My coffee with Peter.
Yep, the whole Cafe Nervosa thing.
I mean, there is the coffee in the episode where they went to Meepless in Seattle.
So. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be like a full Frasier parody.
Yep. Well, we'll see.
Mm.
We'll see if they bring in Frasier for this show.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Unlikely, but hopeful.
Yep.
It's like so. During the fighting, Vanessa comes in, wanting everyone to stop fighting.
Also, I want to talk about Vanessa's design.
Yeah.
It looks great.
You love it.
I mean, it's so her hair's so like the black bands in her hair are weird, but she's rocking the look. She looks evil.
But
what?
I think, but what? But she looks she looks evil, but she also looks good.
Yeah. She also looks really good.
Yes. But the thing is, she had this design, and like remember, I showed you the deleted scenes from Across the Second Dimension.
Yeah.
She had the design in that too, in the deleted scene.
It's a good look. They repurposed that design.
Yep. And so she comes in, wanting everyone to stop fighting, even using animal agents as like a door somehow. And like, all right, hold it, everyone, stop. Can I talk to my parents?
Uses as an excuse to spring them. Run!
I'm only going to say this once. Run!
They run. They jump out. Tony Mazzullo gives them a ride.
Yep, and if you notice, Peter the Panda joins them.
I did. I was going to mention, yeah. So Peter the Panda, he is again. He was not unbrainwashed. So he's in tow with them. And
fun fact, Tony Marzullo. Do you know who voices Tony Marzullo?
Who voices him?
The same guy who voices Carl.
Oh. So the alternate universe Vanessa has a thing for Carl.
No, has the guy who same voice as Carl.
Well, I'm just saying she has a type.
But yep, so they escape. It's like, did I banish you? Yes, you did, honey, but nobody saw it. Referencing the deleted scene.
Yeah, very nice.
But some people actually did see it, like me, because I have the DVD.
Yes.
They've never released it on Blu-ray. I don't think.
No.
I mean, how do you like? Have you checked to see if there's on Blu-ray?
They didn't release it on Blu-ray.
How do you know they didn't release it on Blu-ray?
I'm pretty sure they didn't release it on Blu-ray.
Okay. I'm just wondering if you knew something that I didn't.
I've done like cursory looks on the home releases of Phineas and Ferb. I can't say with 100% certainty, but let's say it's it's an 80%, 75 to 80% certainty that there's no Blu-ray release.
I mean, I don't think they did either.
Yeah.
I mean, they barely released any of the series on DVD.
That's why it's kind of more 80 than 75. But yeah,
I mean, I don't know why Disney doesn't like advertising their shows and putting them on full sets. I mean, outside of like the Shout Factory release of Gravity Falls.
I mean, again, now they're starting to put out DVDs, but they're overpriced, so no one's gonna be able to buy them.
Yeah.
Even then, they're still not the shows. Like only like the recent Disney Plus stuff.
You mean like the Marvel stuffs?
And Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I'm guessing they're probably gonna do it for Andor eventually.
Eventually, but again, one, they're taking forever to put them out because again, they want people to go for the subscription, and they want it. That's the thing. That's one of the reasons. Before they had no good reason. Now the only good reason they have is like, well, we want people to like go for this instead of buying them separately, so they can buy it separately. They won't get the service.
But that doesn't excuse like all the stuff that isn't on Disney Plus.
I know that's
or alternatively could be on Disney Plus, like Phineas and Ferb, for example. Why didn't they ever release that? The show has a huge following. They could have easily done multiple season releases of it.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, like other channels do that all the time. I mean, SpongeBob's had like God knows how many releases.
Yep.
But this show, Disney doesn't really do that.
Kim Possible would sell very well.
Even today, yeah, they would. I would totally buy that.
Yeah.
I would totally buy Kim Possible Blu-ray.
Yep.
And Phineas and Ferb. And among some of the others.
Yes. Even the recent stuff, I don't think DuckTales got a proper release.
I think it got like a couple DVD releases, but I think that's about it. Like no seasons.
Yeah.
It's like because Disney apparently doesn't like. It's like,
See, Disney's in a financial crisis, but the easy solution to these financial crises, it never occurs to them. Like, hey, let's maybe do a proper re-release of a Goofy movie. Nope.
It's like, or we have all these TV shows and
like here's an idea. Let's re-release a Goofy movie, and hey, let's add the documentary we just made on the DVD and maybe on the Blu-ray. I mean, and hey, maybe a commentary, some new features, along with archival features.
Yes, it's like or we have all of these TV shows that. We have no way to watch. People have no way to watch besides Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
People like physical media.
Yeah. What do we do about a market that people who find Disney Plus to be expensive and like overly expensive? Maybe we should entice them to buy the stuff that's on Disney Plus. And in essence, they'd be paying more individually than they would for Disney Plus, but again, they'd be getting exactly what they wanted. Even if it's a one and done, we're still making money hand over fist. Let's do that. Nope.
Nah, too much trouble.
Yeah, too much trouble.
So
wouldn't it be? One could say Zaslav could have been such a smarter business. I was on the other side of the fence here, with all the shows that are like disappearing from Max. What if the reason they were being what if the reason that was happening was he was selling it? He was putting the shows on the market to be bought.
I don't think that's what he's. I don't think he's that.
No, it's not remotely. That's what I'm saying. Don't you think that would be the smarter move? Okay, we're going to take it off. We're taking them off for a reason, so people can pay money for them. That's money in our pocket, but still money they can physically own the thing.
And we're not going to do that.
No.
It'd be too smart, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's like Paramount. Paramount really doesn't have an issue with that. They release Nickelodeon stuff on DVD a lot, man. Mainly SpongeBob, but that's like their biggest money maker anyway.
Well, yeah, a lot of that Shout Factory doing the heavy lifting, so it's kind of you can't give Paramount or Viacom credit on that one. But
I mean a lot of the early stuff was through Paramount.
Well, yeah.
But even then, that's at least something.
I'm just saying, you're right. I'm saying the early releases, but I'm saying when they do like a full series release, that's true. With Nickelodeon, that's really just been the Shout Factory, like basically saying, "Hey, Viacom, let us do this. And they say, oh, all right, fine. Or, you know.
Why doesn't Disney do this?
It's an excellent question. Again, I don't know. Disney, so they're all concerned about branding and marketing, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, they even recently did that whole deal with Sony to release like all the new Blu-rays and stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So, all right. So the episode ends with the animal agents being reintroduced to Alka, and Candace stepping down as leader of the resistance to pursue Jeremy.
Yep, who's
also doing chin-ups, but obviously not having a good of not as well versed in it as Candace is, because she's able to like do nearly 1,000, and he's struggling when he's doing 18.
And she's doing like prison push-ups, like chin-ups too. Like she's doing like it on the mattress.
Yep.
The bed frame mattress thing.
Yep. So alternate dimension Candace, she can lift. All right. So I think that does it for the episode. I think I think we only spent like less than half of this video talking about the episode itself.
Yeah.
But that's what people come here for, right?
Yep.
I mean, the episode is pretty straightforward anyway, right? Just to return to the second dimension, has some fun stuff here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most interesting episode to talk about, but not a bad episode, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
All right. So, do we have any other random closing tangents here?
No.
All right. No closing tangents. All right.
I think we're good.
All right. Okay. So, thank you, Nona Bean YT, who briefly stopped in earlier. Just said hi. So, hi.
And goodbye.
And goodbye. So be sure to join us next week on the Recap-inator, where Doofenshmirtz teams up with an old foe of Perry's. Goodbye, everybody. Sport.